Welcome to the IUS Horizon Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Robinson, here with Graig Enders on this fine, wonderful Wednesday evening. Greg, how are you doing?
I'm here.
Yep.
Finally cooling down, so I'm a little happier, but it needs to cool down more.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into it. We're getting into the NFL. We'll probably talk a little MLB playoffs. Talked to it last week. I got my Reds rant out of the way, and I think I have probably more in the tank as the offseason progresses, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the 49ers beating the Los Angeles Rams 26-23 in overtime. 49ers hit a field goal and then stopped Kyren Williams on a crucial fourth down, 3.5 minutes to go. And the 49ers hung on to win. They improved to 4-1. Mac Jones looked really good. He didn't throw any picks, was only sacked once. 33 of 49 for 342, 2 touchdowns. Of course, just like every single week, Christian McCaffrey was all over the place. I am pleasantly surprised to say that he did not lead them in targets for the first time in about 3 weeks. He had 9 targets. Kendrick Bourne and Jake Tongues each had 11, but Kendrick Bourne looked really good. He had a really clear connection with Mac Jones, caught 10 of 11 for 142, and I didn't think I would ever say that the San Francisco 49ers leading wide receiver was Kendrick Bourne, but that's where we're at right now with all their injuries. This was a crazy game. Of course, Puka Nacua looked good. Matthew Stafford looked good. 3 touchdowns, no picks, almost 400 passing yards. Devontae Adams looked good. So what are you thinking about this one?
This is actually one that I watched a little bit of over the weekend, numerous clips of it. Matt Stafford looked really good, but I'm pretty upset that they couldn't pull off the win this week because Matt Stafford looked like prime Tom Brady, almost 400 passing yards. Not easy to do. And Mac Jones finally pulling out all the stops, trying to get his team back without, Brock Purdy in the picture and all the injuries that Christian McCaffrey sacrificed for. So, I was hoping for a Rams win, but a 49ers win is pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, this was a fun game. I don't think anyone dislikes either of these teams. They're both fun teams to watch. Mac Jones, of course, really big coming out of college with Alabama, but ever since then, his stint in New England didn't go very well. Hasn't done a whole lot with the 49ers just because he just got there, but he was the starter again and played really well. Brock Purdy is not back. He will potentially be back this week. They haven't placed him on injured reserve, considered week to week by Shanahan. So we'll see. It's just shows how good of a coaching staff that the 49ers have, that they are still this good, this dominant, that they're beating a really good Rams team, which Rams will usually be a playoff team. I'm not concerned with them and drop into 3-2, but it's just absurd to me with how many guys that they've lost that they're still this competitive.
Yeah. Especially with almost their entire core gone, other than Christian McCaffrey, and they're still putting up numbers.
Shockingly, not Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I know.
Kittle's gone.
The 1 year it's not Christian McCaffrey.
Kittle, Ayuk, Purdy, Ricky Pearsall. It's just absurd. They're playing really well. So shout out the 49ers. This was a great game to watch.
Shout out 49ers. If any of you guys want to make an appearance, just let us know. Email us.
Next game we're talking about is the Eagles in Denver game. This one was crazy because the Eagles were up 17-3 entering the fourth quarter. And this game was so boring. They were barely showing it on Red Zone. The Eagles up by 2 possessions. You expect their defense to just kind of take over. Saquon start getting the ball a lot. And them to just coast into an easy victory, and that just certainly wasn't the case. Broncos wound up winning 21-17. They scored 17 points, unanswered points in the fourth quarter. They actually got a 2-point conversion, which it shocked me that they went for this. They were down 17-10. Get a nice touchdown pass caught by Evan Ingram, and then instead of going for the extra point to tie the game, they went for the 2-point conversion, had a really nice play, and got the 2-point conversion, went up 18-7. And it didn't matter because they wound up getting a field goal on that next drive. But this is a crazy game. Crazy to see the Eagles lose in this way. And we'll talk about the Bills game next, but Eagles were one of those teams that were still undefeated, and they're no longer undefeated. So what are you thinking about this one?
Again, I don't like the Broncos. So that was annoying, to say the least. And now all of the Broncos fans are in everybody's mention saying, see, we didn't tell you Bo Nix. He's not overrated. Okay, he's had one good game against an Eagles team that just fell apart in the first half. And really in the second half, they looked like they weren't even trying to win the game. So, I'll still come out and say I think Bo Nix is incredibly overrated. And, that's all I got to say. Yeah, sure, he beat Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts was just, I don't know. He just didn't look like he was trying.
Yeah, there's, of course, all the controversy over the week about, and I almost said Antonio Brown, A.J. Brown, demanding more targets, wanting to be more involved in the offense, requesting a trade, which I know is old news, but they came out. He only got 5 receptions, got like 50-something yards. They did not prioritize him. Jalen Hurts definitely missed him. He needs to work on his deep ball.
Yeah.
Missed him on a deep ball that would have had a touchdown. He probably had 5 yards of separation.
That would have been the game winner.
Yeah, easily. So wound up not working out for A.J. Brown and the Eagles, and it's interesting you talk about Bo Nix. He's so hit or miss because looking at his game log, first 3 weeks of the year, terrible.
Yeah.
Not through 3 picks, only 4 touchdowns, under 210 yards in all 3 games. And that was against the Titans and the Colts and the Chargers thrown in there. But against the Bengals and the I always do this. I was almost to say the Phillies. Against the Bengals and the Eagles the last 2 weeks, he's looked great. Thrown for 300 yards. Against the Bengals, almost 250 yards. Against the Eagles, who have a really good defense, really good secondary. And it's just so he needs to figure out how to stay consistent. That's his thing, because I think he's proven, especially like last year, midway through the year, at the end of the year, he had a bunch of really good games. Threw for over 300 yards a couple of times, had a bunch of touchdowns, 29 touchdowns total, or passing last year. He's shown he can play with the big dogs. He just needs to prove that he can stay consistent with the big dogs, and I think that's going to be the key to Denver's success, because running the ball, they're going to do just fine. They have R.J. Harvey, who is a higher draft running back. I believe he was a second-round running back, rushed for over 1,500 yards in college last year. He's their backup to J.K. Dobbins, the perennial injured running back, who they signed a one-year, $2 million deal to, who's playing really, really well. But I still think Bo Nix is the key to that offense.
Yeah.
Talking about the next one, the Bills lost to the New England Patriots. So AFC East has some company at the top. The Bills are up by a game to the Patriots, but Patriots are looking really good, 3-2. Drake May is continuing to look great. Their running game will always confuse me, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But Drake May, 22 of 30 for 273. No picks. He was sacked 4 times, which is a common theme. But Stephon Diggs looks like prime Stephon Diggs. This man is 31 years old. He's about to be 32 years old. He's from Maryland. And he looks really freaking good. He had 100 and where did it go? 146 yards. Somehow he didn't get have a touchdown, but 146 yards. What do you think about this one?
Drake May is a dog, and I will continue standing on that. I think they both played really well, and Josh Allen, obviously every week shows out, but I mean, I don't know, something's off in the NFL recently. When you got Danny Dimes playing like prime Tom Brady, and then you have like Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes all losing in the same week. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, I'm saying, but I mean, like, it's definitely, there's something new going on.
Yeah. This one was interesting, running the ball on both sides, because you have James Cook, who's been so good through the first 4 weeks of the year. He averaged 3.3 yards a carry this game. No touchdowns. Broke his touchdown streak this year. Only had a rush of 9 yards as his longest run. And they kept throwing the ball to Dalton Kincaid. 6 of 6 for 108. Not a singular touchdown, but Khalil Shakir had the most targets, and he didn't do a whole lot. 6 of 45. Keon Coleman 4 of 23. So really interesting to see the Bills go from relying on James Cook a lot, relying on Khalil Shakir, and then now we're shifting to Dalton Kincaid, and that is seemingly it for this game. And
It's also interesting. Ramondre Stevenson, he did not get good yardage that game, but he still went in there for 2 touchdowns. So not terrible, but he needs to definitely work on the runs per carry. I mean, he only had two receptions, but I mean, still only 27 yards. But I mean, 2 touchdowns, pretty good for a running back.
yeah, the New England rushing attack always will confuse me because they have Henderson out of Ohio State, drafted very high, 2nd round. Antonio Gibson, who's been there forever, and Ramondre Stevenson, who they just gave a contract to. They're just all 3 splitting carries. No one's breaking out. No one's saying, hey, I'm the guy. Henderson had a 13-yard run, but that really carried his stats. He had 6 carries. Gibson had 6. Stevenson had 7. So I think the Patriots, they have an all-hands-on-deck type of offense. Drake May's leading them, but they have all these different guys. I mean, of course, Diggs had a really good game, but Demario Douglas, Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry, I mean, these guys are not wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1, even wide receiver 3 type of guys, and they're the main actors getting involved. So it's going to be interesting to see the longevity of this team, especially from the running back position if someone stands out. But who do you like out of these 3 running backs so far?
Honestly, Stevenson has shown himself capable of end zone running. So I feel like he can definitely be the guy, but he has to work on getting more carries a game to actually prove to Drake May and the offensive staff that he can handle, middle of the game, middle field running.
How are you supposed to prove that, though, if you don't get the ball?
Exactly. Only 7 carries for him, which, I mean, you gotta give it to him a little bit more. 2 touchdowns is amazing for a running back in a single game. But I mean, like, if you only play him in the end zone, how are you going to figure out a running back to always, run with?
What's interesting about James Cook's performance is they were not stacking the box against James Cook. They had 8 defenders in the box 13% of the time. So they're playing back, expecting the pass, and the pass is what they got, and James Cook just wasn't able to deliver. So maybe this is a down game. It honestly probably is.
Yeah.
The Bills had the Falcons this week on Monday Night Football. It's not the only Monday Night Football game, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I think the Bills profile well against the Falcons because they have an injured secondary, and these mediocre receivers are going to run haywire. But
you don't think it'll be competitive?
No, I think it'll be competitive for how long are the quarters? 15 minutes, probably the first 3 minutes of the game, and then after that, I'm not super confident.
It'll be competitive for about 30 seconds, and then as soon as Josh Allen gets the ball, then it's over.
Seriously. Everyone's happy that the Chiefs lost, though. They are not looking good. This is a really good game, but the Chiefs dropped it 2-3. Taylor Swift is somewhere crying. Patrick Mahomes threw for over 300. Patrick Mahomes threw for over 300. That sounded more like Biden than Patrick Mahomes. Sorry about that. Anyway, Kareem Hunt got a bunch of traction in this game. He's their goal line guy. That's why he got those 2 touchdowns. But he had the same amount of carries as Pacheco. They both had 7, but ironically enough, Patrick Mahomes scrambled around for more yards than both of them. And their receiving core just continues to be odd. Xavier Worthy, who had an amazing game last week, led the team in targets this week, did not lead the team in yards. Tyquan Thornton had a 34-yard reception, which really helped him lead the team in yards. Travis Kelce was really involved. What do we think of?
Well, the one thing I really want to talk about right now is the linebacker Devin Lloyd. We now have our longest pick six touchdown, whatever you want to call it. Devin Lloyd ran for a 99-yard touchdown pick six.
Okay.
So a linebacker making that all the way tells you that man wanted it.
Yep.
He wanted it bad. So we have our new longest touchdown this year for Devin Lloyd and the Jaguars. I just don't think that Kansas City played like Kansas City that game. I mean, they were super just passive the whole game. I feel like if, the wide receiver core isn't doing the greatest. I mean, Xavier Worthy, Thornton, those guys are playing, but they're not playing extremely well. I think there's definitely room for improvement, and I do believe that the Jags definitely earned this win. Trevor Lawrence tripping in the end zone for a touchdown. I mean, again, this is just a team that wants it more. So, good for them.
Yeah, it was interesting because the Jags defense did not play great, but
When
they
do
were
they?
they were able to get it done. Kansas City's defense did play pretty well. Trip McDuffie is incredibly good cornerback. I think he's super underrated. He's only 25, but anyway, he had 3 defended passes. Chiefs had 5 TFLs, 8 QB hits, 3 sacks. So they were getting the quarterback, and it was clear because Lawrence was running around back there, but it was a play where I'm sure everyone's seen it. He tripped and then fell and went on his knee and tripped again and then ran 10 yards for a touchdown or 5 yards or whatever it was. So good for the Jags. I think this might have been a lucky game. They didn't have anyone stand out. They just distributed the ball well, had a nice defensive play.
Also,
And
I don't know if I'm crazy. I felt like Trevor Lawrence should have been down on that trip play.
I don't know if it'd be considered a QB kneel.
I feel like they should have, it looked like he was just down before, he got back up. It looked like he was fully, both knees touched the floor.
Yeah, but no one touched him because it's the NFL.
It's just it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say, but I guess I can't really argue because nobody was there and he was just flopping all over the place. But
well, Greg disagrees. I don't. Moving on. Rico Dowdle.
I'm so glad he got that. Honestly.
Oh yeah, me too.
I love Trevor Lawrence.
Hate the Chiefs. Rico Dowdle, 206 rushing yards. Absolutely crazy. Carolina's rushing room is just, it's all over the place. They got guys hurt, tearing multiple ACLs. They got Chuba Hubbard, who's been hurt. Trevor Etienne is the rookie out of Georgia, and he hasn't, despite all the injuries, he hasn't done a whole lot this year. But Rico Dowdle really had a game of his career. Bryce Young looked incredibly mediocre. 19-30, 198, 2 touchdowns. He was throwing the ball around a lot. Xavier Legette got his first touchdown since last year, so that was good to see if you're a Legette fan. But this was just really an ugly game. Tua played well. He wasn't sacked, but they just could not get the running game going. They had 19 yards rushing the Miami Dolphins. Devon Achane was 10 of 16, and then they just gave out. They're just throwing the ball. Every single time they get the ball, just throw it. And Jalen Waddle had a good game. Darren Waller had another touchdown, which is just absurd to me because this time last year that man was sitting. I don't know if he has kids or what, but he was just playing with his kids, sitting on the couch. He had retired. Crazy career, ended poorly with injuries, but really having a resurgence in these first two games with the Dolphins, who just lost Tyreek Hill. So what are we thinking about the Dolphins' first game without Tyreek?
I think it's really awesome for Waller to come back like that. He may be an old man, but he's still got some left in the tank.
Thought you might say that.
Not like Mark Cooper, but sorry. Didn't see one play and was out of there. Thankfully, Waller decided to stick around, and he's shown that he still has it. So I think it's cool that Tua also didn't throw a pick the whole game. It's about time. So, I mean, I have no complaints. I think the Panthers played really well. Bryce Young is, of course, Bryce Young. Still learning. Still got room for improvement. That'll really took them to the win, I think, in my opinion. But it was a fun game to watch. I thought the Dolphins were going to probably win, but once again, it's the teams that want it more.
This Cardinals-Titans game was crazy.
Yeah.
The Cardinals were winning 21-3 in the second quarter. Joey Sly hit a 51-yard field goal midway through the second quarter to make it 21-6, and it was all Titans from there. They scored 19 unanswered points. And what's crazy is their defense really stepped up. It was, yes, sure, their offense, and then they had strip sack fumble turned into a touchdown in the fourth quarter. But their defense, let me just read off the Cardinals' offensive plays. They had a good first drive out of the second half, had a really good drive, 13 plays, 51 yards, but then it was negated by Kyler Murray fumble. Yeah, probably not tall enough to see over the offense and offensive line and just ran into them. I don't know what happened there, but 3 and out, 5 yards and another fumble, 3 and out, and a 6-play punt. So the Titans offense, like I said, it did not look great. Cam Ward had a good game, sure. He looked more competent, but they weren't able to get the ball running at all. And Calvin Ridley had a really good game. What are we thinking about this one?
It was. I tuned in the last couple minutes of this game. It was really fun to watch the Titans run down the field and kick that field goal to win. I think just the explosive offense randomly in the last 50 seconds was pretty honestly crazy to watch. It was like I was watching Mahomes, like the last 50 seconds of a Super Bowl. And all of a sudden they just pull stuff randomly out that they've never done before. And then all of a sudden, oh, hey, wait, we won.
Yep. They killed him with needles. Death by 1,000 needles is what happened on that last drive because they started on the 18, under 2 minutes to go, and a bunch of short passes, and then they got a 38-yard pass, which was really helpful to get closer towards midfield. But he killed that ball. It was a great kick. Got the Titans their first one of the year. Might be the last one of the year, but
no, there's still a team that I think
they're bad.
It's gonna be a while.
Jets. We might talk about them. Next, we're going to talk about the Vikings. Wow, Carson freaking Wentz. It's going to be so hard for the Vikings to move off of Carson Wentz after J.J. McCarthy comes back. I think I talked about this last week, talked about it. I'm not a J.J. McCarthy fan. I never have been a J.J. McCarthy fan. And, of course, he was out all of last year just getting his feet wet with his first 2 games in the NFL. This year looked absolutely freaking terrible. And then Carson Wentz has come in. He's won 2 games, 2-1, and the offense has actually looked pretty solid. And this is a Browns team that is really, really good defensively. Jordan Addison had a really nice catch toward the end of this game to seal the victory, a touchdown catch with, let's see, it was 25 seconds left. It was like a not a back shoulder necessarily, but he had to readjust, caught it, he was wide open. And Denzel Ward, I don't know what he was doing, but he just completely left him wide open. It was Darren Wentz to throw him the ball. He had a really good game. Justin Jefferson, of course, had a really good game. So I don't know what the Vikings are going to do. From all the reports that I've seen, J.J. McCarthy is going to come back and he's going to retain his spot as the starter, and I think that's absurd. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think there's a single way. And I'm sure he's a great guy, but there's no way with how well that Carson Wentz has played in this offense. He's not even that old. He's 32. And it's been electric. It's actually created stats for people to talk about because they score points. So I don't know what your take is on it, but they need to keep Carson Wentz. And maybe it can be a Jordan Love type situation where J.J. McCarthy sits back, he learns, he adapts, he grows, and then at the end of the year, if they don't make the playoffs, they put him in.
I was literally just going to say, I think Carson Wentz deserves the spot after that performance because he has had years watching Patrick Mahomes. Super Bowl after Super Bowl. He's a multi-Super Bowl. I mean, he has a couple rings. And he's not even a quarterback starting. Well, now he is, but he's had a lot of time to watch a Super Bowl caliber, maybe probably Hall of Famer quarterback, and he's applied a lot of what he's learned, and he's shown that this game that he's learned a lot from Mahomes. And so I think JJ needs to take a back seat another year and take a watch. And it also said Shador was in the game. I don't think that's true.
He might have gotten a snap, but I'm not saying anything about it.
Yeah, see, it says 0 for 0, but he's on the lineup. It said he was eligible to play.
They just traded Joe Flacco, the Browns did, to the Bengals, who we'll talk about next, which I think is a good trade for the Bengals. But Dylan Gabriel, he looked pretty solid. He didn't look amazing in his NFL debut, but he didn't throw any picks. He looked confident back there. He was slinging it. Quinshon Judkins is just continuing to prove why why this offense can be electric. I think if Dylan Gabriel works out, if he's a solid, not even great, just a solid quarterback, their running game is so good with Jerome Ford, Quinshon Judkins. I really like Dylan Sampson. Just receiving is the only thing. I'm not a big Isaiah Bond fan. Undrafted free agent. Not huge on him. They have a couple good tight ends, but I genuinely think that this Browns team, yes, you're 1-4. They have a really good defense. You have some key pieces on offense. I think they're one or two pieces away from being a real contender. It probably won't happen this year because you're going to need some receivers and you're going to need them fast. Cedric Tillman just got hurt, so now your one is Isaiah Bond maybe. It wasn't this game. He had 7 targets, most out of any receiver. Jerry Jeudy is incredibly inconsistent. Harold Fannon's, of course, the rookie tight end. So we'll see who really steps up. It might wind up being David Njoku. What's your take on the Browns?
I think for the when the offseason arrives, I think the draft they should really focus on, what you were talking about. They should definitely focus on getting a better receiving core. They should focus on, just getting the pieces that they need to fit because, again, I think they are 100% a contending team if they can just get that piece to fit. And right now, not really, but, they're still playing decent. I mean, it's not the best we've ever seen, obviously, but.
Next game we're going to talk about Lions absolutely destroyed the Bengals. Jared Goff played well again. David Montgomery went off. They had over 100 yards rushing combined with him and Gibbs. Amon-Ra went off. I mean, this Lions offense, everyone was talking about, it's Johnson after week 1. Oh, you lost your offensive coordinator. No. Dan Campbell does not care about what you have to say. He doesn't care about the media, and that's great. Neither does Jared Goff, who actually has played now more games as a Lion than he has as a Ram. which is pretty cool because it doesn't feel like Jared Goff has really been in Detroit that long. But I digress. The Bengals, they just looked absolutely terrible on offense. Jake Browning, 3 picks again. Couldn't get the running game going. I mean, it's absurd when Samaje Perine has to come in late in the game and he gets just as many yards and half the amount of carries as Chase Brown. But Jamar Chase looked good. He got a couple touchdowns, really long reception. Joe Flacco is really needed, really needed on this team. Will he help? I don't know. He didn't play very well at the Browns. That's why they benched him after the first 4 games. What do you think?
I'm really hoping they can figure something out. I think Joe Burrow was like the absolute worst thing that could have happened to the Bengals because without them, they are probably going to be one of the worst teams this year. One of the biggest letdowns, one of the biggest busts of the entire decade. I don't think I remember seeing a fall off this bad since the Raiders lost Derek Carr. I mean, this is like next level fall off.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Burrow was actually like the glue to this team.
Yeah.
And now that glue is gone, the whole team is just it's in shambles. And I really hope Joe Flacco can kind of come in and at least give them some hope. But Joe Flacco, I don't think he has it in him.
Yeah. I think maybe too old, too slow.
Yeah.
He had a good 23. Not as good of a year last year. And, of course, hasn't looked great this year. Pivot a little bit. Next game we're going to talk about is the Bucs and Seahawks. The Bucs just look so good. Baker Mayfield leads another. I'm pretty sure this is his fourth straight opportunity at a game-winning drive. And he came up clutch. He's came up clutch in 3 of the 4. Chase McLaughlin got a last-second field goal as time expired. So they win 38-35. Baker Mayfield is a good freaking quarterback. 29 to 33, 379, 2 touchdowns, no picks, only sacked once. Rachaad White had 2 touchdowns. He is not a good running back. I have him in both my fantasy leagues. Don't listen to me if you are on the receiving end of a trade from me with Rachaad White. He's incredibly inefficient. They really need Bucky Irving back, and I think Bucky Irving is going to be out for a couple more weeks. I don't think they put him on the IR yet, but their running game just misses a lot without Bucky Irving there. Their head coach came out and said that he views them both as running back ones, as guys who can carry the workload. But Rachaad White is just not explosive. He's not fast. He showcases that every single time he's on the field. But Emeka Egbuka is an incredibly good wide receiver. Caught all 7 of his targets, 163 yards, touchdown. He is just by far and away the best rookie through the first 5 weeks of the season. I don't think anyone expected that out of him, and they freaking needed it because you got Godwin, who was hurt at the beginning of the year. You got Mike Evans, who is hurt for the last couple weeks now, and this guy has really stepped it up the last 3 games especially. 85, 101, 163 yards. His last 3 games, 2 touchdowns total. So he is looking like, and I forgot, Jalen McMillan's hurt too, another really good wide receiver. Rookie last year. Had a good end of the year before he got hurt. But looking like Egbuka is going to wind up being the wide receiver 1. He's going to replace Mike Evans. What are you thinking about this game?
Baker Mayfield, definitely you got to keep him going. I mean, I don't know where he came from or why he came from doing it, but dude, he's crazy. Egbuka, or as Gronk called him, I can't even replicate the sound he made. Did you hear about that?
No.
He was
Egbuka
or whatever he said. Gronk, just try not to. Just don't. Egbuka is crazy. I think he's going to be wide receiver for the Bucs for a long while, provided they actually can afford to give him a viable contract that he's okay with. But I mean, yeah, Bucs played really well. Seahawks also played pretty decently, but again, I'll say it every single time when it's a close game like this. There's only one team that wants it more, and that team will always win.
Sam Darnold continues to play really well. They gave him a ton of money, got rid of Geno Smith, which was obviously for the best. We'll talk about that in our next segment. But Sam Darnold, 28-34 for 341, 4 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker played really well. He had a long run, but was still really consistent. JSN had 132 yards. Like, this offense was cooking the whole entire day. They scored 35 points. Their defense just could not back it up. I don't know if you saw their fumble, one of their 2 turnovers. Jalen Milroe got in the game, his 3rd snap of the year. They just bring him in for these design plays where you kind of run around, you dance, and then you spin, and then you twirl like you're a freaking ballerina and try to get some yardage. Jalen Milroe didn't do any of that because he freaking optioned the ball to the running back, hit him in the side of the head on the back shoulder, opposite direction of what he's running, and then the ball just trickles away and they lose it. And I don't understand. Yes, mistakes happen. That's fine. That's all well and good. But I don't understand how you have 3 chances as a rookie to come in and succeed. You know he was pissed. He was so mad at himself. He knows it too. And I kind of feel bad for him, but I'm going to go off anyway. You have 3 opportunities, and it's just a pitch, just a classic, here, catch it. I'm not going to get tackled here. And you just freaking throw it to him. And he messed up, and now he's going to be benched. I guarantee it. He's not going to be in for the next couple games. What are you thinking about the Seahawks' performance in this one?
I didn't know what you were talking about at first, but then I remembered seeing like the clip of Milroe just like throwing it at the side of his head. That was incredibly funny. I mean, dude, you gotta just take your time. I get it. You're new, and you really, really, really want to prove that you're in there. But I mean, stupid mistakes like that, it's gonna cost you so bad. And it ended up, if they could have done something on that, they might have made them win the game. If they could get a good score or get a good run on that, that could have been the game decider.
Yeah,
absolutely. And just because he decided to just chuck it at your teammate's head, that's it. You lost.
So I'm going to be quick with this, and then I'm going to pass it off to Graig because he was at the game. But when we talk about a roller coaster beginning of the season for a quarterback, Geno Smith is that guy. He's the guy that we're talking about. He's the one that we're basing all of our opinions off of. Let's just quickly go through this. Opening game against the Patriots. They're only one of the year. 24-34, 362 yards. Sacked 4 times. The next game against the Chargers. 24-43, 180 yards. 3 picks. Sacked 3 times. And I'll spare you, but he had 2 good games this year where he had over 650 yards passing total between both of those games. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, and the rest has just been absolute garbage. He's thrown 5 picks in his last 2 games, sacked 4 times again. He's been sacked 16 times this year. Clearly they have an offensive line problem, but what do I know? I wasn't there. You were there. Let's hear it. And this is the 2-minute warning.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Continue.
So, as a Raiders fan, I mean, we all expected, we all buy into the hype of the whole, it's going to be different this year. We got Pete Carroll. We got Ashton Genty. We got Geno Smith. We got all this new talent. We got Brock Bowers. He's proven best tight end ever. Brock Bowers gets hurt. Geno Smith can't throw a ball that's not into the other team's hands. Ashton Genty can never get the ball outside of our O-line because our O-line crumples faster than a Nutri-Grain bar. I mean, that was the most embarrassed I've ever been at a ball game in my life. Geno Smith is a absolute bust, and he does not deserve to have QB1. I'm just going to say it. He is the worst quarterback in the NFL right now, and he absolutely does not deserve the QB1 spot on the Raiders. Like you said, 2 good games. Those were decently fun to watch. But the rest of the games have been absolutely despicable to watch. This one was probably the worst one he's had of his season so far. And of course, it's the one I go to. He should have had 3 picks today, which should have made it 10 picks in 5 games. But Colts defense dropped it in the end zone, and it wasn't a pick. He is awful in the pocket. He throws into more coverage than the defense can even imagine. I mean, he's throwing into triple coverage, quadruple cover. The whole team could be on a guy, and he would still throw it to the guy. I mean, 9 interceptions, leads the entire league in 5 games. Why he is not benched and Kenny Pickett has not came in is so beyond me. It absolutely pisses me off. I believe Kenny Pickett should be given a chance this week. And of course, I get a email or a notification this morning. They plan to keep Geno Smith as QB1.
Why would you rather have Kenny Pickett?
Because I feel like giving him at least a chance is better than having a consistent 2 to 3 interceptions a game.
Do you know what his touchdown to pick ratio was the first 2 years of his career when he was a starter?
Geno?
No, Kenny Pickett.
Oh, Kenny Pickett. I know it wasn't good.
13.
I feel like the more he's had to sit and watch, the more time he's had to prepare. And honestly, I cannot wait till Aiden O'Connell gets better. Because as corny as it sounds, Aiden O'Connell is a GOAT. He is super good as quarterback. And I think people overshadow that with a couple bad games he's had. I believe he's a good quarterback. And, I mean, he's like, I think at the beginning of the year, he was the last team to beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium before whoever did it this year. Geno is a flat-out embarrassment. Brock Bowers is out with a knee, or I think it was a bone bruise in his knee, which, yeah, probably shouldn't play with that.
Yeah, they said the only way it was going to heal is if he rested.
Yeah. So he's either back this week or next week. So we lose a lot of yards on that. What can I say? Season's over. I'm going to call it now. We'll sit there at the first round pick again.
Be careful with the hands
tapping.
tapping.
So season's over. Geno has been one of the biggest busts in quarterback history, and he needs to retire. He just robbed us of $75 million, and he can go live comfortably the rest of his life. Retire.
What's interesting is A.D. Mitchell dropped a touchdown last week, flaunting his way into the end zone. He was getting ready to dance. He was getting ready to celebrate. I don't know what he was going to do. It was going to be horrendous, whatever it was. Dropped the ball, went to the back of the end zone. He was benched this game. He didn't play at all. He had 1 target, didn't catch it, of course, and I actually forgot to mention in the Cardinals game, same exact thing happened with Amari DiMarcado, the 3rd running back on that. Trey Benson's been hurt, and James Conner has been hurt. So Amari DiMarcado got a chance to shine this week, as the running back 1. And they were, I believe it was 21-6 at the time. Dropped the ball, walking into the end zone, and the coach went absolutely berserk. He was fined $100,000. $100,000 for his response to Amari DiMarcado doing that. He had a public apology. It was this whole thing, but you can't do that as an NFL running back. He needs to be cut. He does not deserve to have a job in the NFL if he is going to do that, because every single week when that happens, everyone sees it and everyone knows and everyone laughs and everyone thinks, oh, it's not going to happen to me. And then it happens again because people are so happy to score a touchdown and celebrate that they're not actually caring about scoring the touchdown part, and that lost them the game. They lost because Amari DiMarcado did not score on that play, and now the Titans have a win this year.
Oh, also, back really quick. The Raiders went across the United States to kick 2 field goals, get absolutely belt, and leave. And that's the game I decided to go to and spend my money to go and see.
It was, at the time, 21-6. That was correct. Anyway, moving on into the 2-minute warning as we venture further toward the end of this podcast. Thanks for listening. If you are listening to what I'm saying right now, if you're listening to my voice, message me. Text me on Instagram. Text me personally. I don't know. But if you're hearing my voice right now, I want you to text me and say thank you so that I can thank you back. Anyway, quick little preview of the Bills-Falcons game. I'm not excited for this game. I'm excited to see it over. Not look at the box score, not talk about it next week. And I don't know what. I'm going to have to distract myself during this game, but I don't think it's going to go well at all. The Falcons defense has looked hit or miss. Yes, they had one good game. It was against the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy sucks. We've already been through that. Our secondary is hurt, and Josh Allen is just going to throw all over the place.
Now, what if you guys pull off a miracle and win?
Then the Falcons are the greatest team to ever exist.
Okay.
So the Bills are favored by 4.5. Over-under is 49.5. I'd probably hit the under if I was a betting man.
For both teams?
No, for the 49.5, yeah. I would hit the under just because I don't think the Falcons are going to do very well offensively. I don't think Michael Penix in prime time, Monday Night Football against the Bills, the juggernaut 4-1 Bills. I think Michael Penix is gonna fail. And my score prediction is 34-6.
Falcons.
Oh, of course. No, the Bills are going to win 34-6.
I think Bills are going to win in a heartbreaking way for the Falcons. I don't know what is calling to me, but I feel like the Falcons are going to show up. And they are going to play their heart out. And it is either going to pay off greatly with a win, or it is going to be a very heartbreaking loss for you.
Coming out of a bye, there's hope, there's a chance. I wrote this article that'll be published tomorrow about Raheem Morris's press conference yesterday. And he said that he wants to forget about the Panthers game. Completely throw it out the window. And I think that's bad leadership. I don't think that the way that you motivate your guys to step up in a primetime Monday Night Football game against the Buffalo Bills is to say, hey, forget about when we sucked. No, use that as a motivation. Use that to say, hey, yeah, we sucked. Do you want to do that every week? Do you really want to do that every single week where you're going to come in and we're going to get blown out 30-0 by Bryce Young and the Panthers? Do you want that? No, you don't want that. No one wants that. You think the 6-year-old watching this with the jersey, with the face paint, you think he wants that? No one wants to see that. And you're going to use that as motivation to better your team, to piss them off. Give them some drive, determination, something. I don't know. Raheem Morris doesn't have it. I know that for a fact.
See, I at first I wasn't remembering what you were talking about, and then I remembered seeing someone talk about it, was they would prefer honesty over forgetting. Because if you're honest with your team, that shows you actually really care. If you say, yeah, we are terrible, like Cam Ward, he said, I can't even lie right now, we buns.
Yeah.
That, I mean, he probably got fined for that, but every fan right there was like, dang, okay, yeah, he actually knows and cares right now.
Yeah.
He's ready to come back and give it more tries.
Realism.
Yeah, being real is so much better than being fake and just medialized. I don't know if that's a word, but presenting yourself for the media, I get you have to look, professional. You have to be professional in the media, especially having such a following. But at some point, Geno Smith, this one especially goes out to you. If you're going to come out onto a press conference and say, I just got to be better for the third or fourth time, dude, at what point do you got to stop saying that and just say, I'm bad. I'm bad. Like he says he takes responsibility, but comes out the next week, does the same stuff over and over again. A lot of quarterbacks do that. And I think it's so normalized. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of quarterbacks not being real with their fans. You guys have millions of people who pay money to watch your game. And if you can't even be real about the bad plays you are making, it's disrespectful to the people watching. Like your guy, that's a big screw you to the fans. It's like I don't care. Why should we care about that game that we got blown out and we didn't do anything? That's incredibly disrespectful. It's like Aaron Judge after losing the first game, being like, "Who cares, dude? It is the postseason. That's every single fan who just watched you and supports you doesn't like you that much anymore." I think it's ridiculous, and I think people need to start being more like Cam Ward and start being real with the fan base and saying, yeah, we're bad right now, but we're working on it. We're using this. We're using this to move forward. But everybody just wants to be tame and say, hey, we're trying. Yeah, I'm sure you are with 3 picks.
Trying a little too hard.
Trying, yeah. At this point, Gino is just working for the enemy team. Like, I have a sneaking suspicion when who do we even play next week?
Titans.
Yeah. Cam Ward is going to come up to us and be like, yo, Gino, do you mind, I'll slip you like a couple million if you just give us 4 picks this game. I feel like Gino would take that in a heartbeat.
Wouldn't be anything different than what he's
I
doing
mean,
now.
with Indiana, dude, it had to have been. Daniel Jones had to have walked up to Gino like, hey, do you mind playing absolutely terrible today? And Gino just, yeah, I got you. We did lose. I forgot to say this during the Colts and Raiders segment. Both teams lost a kicker or punter. Spencer Schrader is out, I think, for the season.
ACL.
I don't know if it was an ACL or if it was a ligament.
15-month recovery.
Ooh, yikes.
Torn hamstring.
Yikes. And then the Raiders, I think we lost. I don't think it was bad at all, but I think we lost our punter.
Brutal.
Either way, a leg for a leg. Ours wasn't as bad, but prayers to Spencer Schrader, and hopefully his recovery goes well into playing again.
MLB playoffs has been interesting so far. The Blue Jays look so freaking good through the first 2 games, and they lost last night. As we're sitting here recording right now, the Mariners are in a lead 2-1 over the Tigers, but it's 3-3 through 5 right here, now.
Tigers came back.
Yeah,
last time I
Tigers
seen it was 3-0.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
Brewers have been dominant. Dodgers have been dominant. Both those series are 2-0. So, really quick, anything you got about the playoffs before we wrap it up for today?
I'm really here rooting for the Tigers. I think the Tigers have what it takes. Unfortunately, their offense has been absolutely abysmal recently. They need to wake up if they want a chance at moving on to the ALDS or ALCS. Brewers have been absolutely dog walking the Cubs. It hasn't even been close. Cubs fans came into this calling it Wrigley Field North, and they got absolutely destroyed both of those games. So I guess that's karma. Yankees, did you watch that game? The Yankees randomly just decided one inning, you know what? We want to win this. So they had an explosive, I think it was a 7-run inning or something like that, something crazy like that. And they came out on top. And it is so unfortunate to see the Phillies losing to the Dodgers like this.
Yeah.
The Phillies need to absolutely wake up today.
Yeah.
It is if they lose it, it's over. If
Yep.
they lose today, I absolutely abhor the Dodgers. So if I have to watch another Dodgers World Series, rooftop balcony. That's all I'm going to say. I hate watching big market teams like this make it all the way because it just shows money is all you need to be good.
Yep.
Small market teams like the Reds, that was absolutely destroying for the team to watch that. And I think the playoffs need to be something's got to change because having the Reds face off against the Dodgers is like having the Rockies face off against the Dodgers. It was not going to be close. That's all I got.
Thank you so much for watching. Jeffrey, Greg, we appreciate you. This is the IUS Horizon Sports Podcast. If you have any suggestions, if you want to come on the show, heck, I don't care. We've got 2-3 open microphones right here. Come join us. If you're listening, text us, say hi, let us know that you watched. We appreciate you. We're thankful for you. Thankful for supporting what we got going on here. My laptop almost died during this, so thankful that didn't happen, but that's all I got to say. We'll see you next week. Go Falcons, go Reds, and God bless. Maybe that'll be my exit for every single podcast I do.
What? Go Falcons, go Reds?
Yeah, imagine I said that every time we have a school podcast.
I was going to say,
Over here.
go Falcons,
Go Falcons.
go Reds.